Go your own way, stones and shadows bite, willows whisper of darkness deep and wide. In the forest there is no place to hide. Strange paths, tonight I fear that I will not survive the dying of the light.
This is The Dying of the Light, a series from the Starfall Collective. The Starfall Collective is a collaborative storytelling group using the Dungeons & Dragons game system as a vehicle for creating rich and compelling stories in a fictional world we've been developing together for a while. You can find out more about the collective as well as the stories we're telling at thestarfallcollective.com. We're back with a new episode. In the previous episode, maybe the last episode, we have two different places in this battle that we're in. There is the place above where the party is fighting valiantly against the Coven. The Coven, they have already killed Fa, and they are close to killing Wira. The Coven seems to have recognized the gravity of the threat and are not used to this kind of response, and so have started taking strong and decisive kinds of action back. So the fight up above has some glimmers of hope, but is also quite treacherous. And in that regard, as above, so below, down in a deep hole, Zevek, and Neno find themselves in a chamber of shallow water. The shallow water seems to be coming, as best we can tell, just up through the gravel everywhere. Something like that. And is being ejected forcibly out of the top of the chamber, this sort of cavern, small cavern, and is what is providing water to the ziggurat at the top, down into these little rivulets that come down the ziggurat, into channels on the disc, out into rivers that get broader and broader, seeming to do two things, as you have discovered. One, absorb some kind of magic and become more voluminous. And two, as that water dissipates through the land, the rivers, feeding all the trees and everything else, that magic seems to dissipate back into the air as a mist, generally speaking. So that's that water flow. Right now, Zevek, as we ended our last episode, has encountered this elder brain that sits in this pool with 3 mind flayers doing its bidding. Fa, the shadow of the sun, and it turns out the leader of the Coven, perhaps the first among equals, maybe, was thrown down by Toll and Yoshka down into the sacrificial pit into which he had been throwing others. Hitting the bottom, he seemed to be quite broken. It was a couple 100-foot fall. He seemed to be quite broken, but still alive. And in that condition, the mind flayers who serve and attend to this elder brain came, and using some ability they had, they opened his skull and appear to be something like feeding the elder brain.
Were they successful at that? I thought their magic to do that wasn't working, and it was puzzling them.
They didn't. They tried to cast spells, which weren't working.
Okay.
They were able to start pulling, with force. It's their job. One of the things that we heard in the previous episode, was that the elder brain told Zevek, especially, does not seem to be particularly trying to get Neno.
She has less to offer.
Trying to get Zevek to come to him, to something like join him, be folded into it, the elder brain, and wants to consume Zevek in some way. Strong and powerful as he is, Zevek has now become entangled in this extraordinarily powerful being's tentacles. Sorry, just making sure I didn't need that. Powerful being's tentacles, and it is slowly dragging him towards it. He currently has a tentacle wrapped around his neck, holding him so he can't move, and almost kind of backpacking over his shoulders, so he's like pinned, right, around his waist. He's like being slowly tentacled more and more. First there was one tentacle, and then two more have been rolling for if he's able to get any. So Zebek has 3 tentacles now. 1, 2, 3, grabbing him. He's resisting very well because he's strong and strong-minded and strong-hearted and physically capable. The Elder Brain does not seem to be able to cast any kind of magic. The Mind Flayers don't seem to be able to cast any magic. However, he is resisting, but he is being drawn backwards by the Elder Brain. I'm going to share my screen here so that, same as last time, so that we can know what is happening. Okay, that's above, and here's below. And yeah, so, Zebek is in trouble. The last thing we ended on was he's being pulled back, and he says only, "Neno, help me," as he's being choked and pulled into this thing. So,
okay.
Neno, we'll start in just a second. Neno had been trying to drain the pool of its water, which has the effect of damage to the Elder Brain, though in time, who knows. But it does not look like that was a viable option, just practically in the time left for what Zebek would have left while you're doing it. Okay, so let's do a quick introduction, see where you are on this. Also, I just want to point out, Toll, after you left last time, you got disconnected or something. So after that, you took a little bit of damage, which I recorded for you on your character sheet. It was like one more round, and then you took damage from it, which was you took 34 damage because.
Oh yeah, I think I took that in.
Okay, great. In that case,
and I've actually fixed. I found the issue with my Wi-Fi and I fixed it.
Okay, great. Great. And the issue there was, or just to remind for my sake here, hold on. That was that who was it? Gotish? Yes, Gotish had cast Circle of Death, which you can see on here is
Not nearly as fun as it sounds.
who had hit Toll, and one of the lions took 34 damage. Inkatink and the other lion and the air elemental, I think it was, took half that, or maybe the air elemental took full. That effect is instantaneous, and so now it goes away. We're back in our battle. However, we're picking up at Neno and Sevek. Let me.
Want introductions? Or?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, let's do introductions. Tell you a little bit about yourself, your character, if you like, and in particular, what you're thinking about, what's happening with your character right now. Why don't we start this time? We'll finish with you, Neno, Aaron. Why don't we start this time with Jared?
Hey, my name's Jared. I am playing Yoshka, who is fighting right now. He's not really thinking about anything. He's just all in.
All right. How about you, Dwight?
Hey, I'm Belvari, and I am excited about my wolves.
Good. I think that was a refrigerator. Okay. How about you, Josh?
Hey, Inkatink has red in his eyes. I mean, he's just scrambling furiously to try to produce as many potions from his pockets as possible to make his friends and allies as formidable as possible, because he knows that the longer this fight goes on, the more likely it is that he or one of his friends is going to die. So he is just desperately dealing death as quickly as he can with a heart that is racing.
All right. Pat?
I'm Pat. I'm playing the half-orc druid Toll, and he's having a good time. He likes a good fight, and we haven't really had any like gigantic, massive battles like this, so he's enjoying himself.
Yeah.
Well, there was the one.
Yeah. A lot of little tiny fisticuffs and skirmishes, but not a lot, but a number of them.
Yeah.
How about you, Matt?
Hi, my name is Matthew Talamini. I'm a writer and web developer based in Providence, Rhode Island, and you can find my stuff at MatthewTalamini.com. That's Matthew, TALAMINI.com. I play the shirtless wizard Diamondback. This is what he trained for. This is what his whole life has been leading up to. Everything that he was taught was about battle and tactics and strategy, and he has had precious little chance to use that training until now. And he is also extremely delighted and fulfilled to have finally been able to use his Dark Snake Clan necromantic magic to actually absorb some life force from somebody, which is like the main thing that one of his main powers is cast a magic spell that hurts somebody, but also you get some hit points back from it. It's like part of what being a necromancer is about, and he has finally been able to do that for the first time in the entire like his whole life. So it's a very important moment for him. Yeah, he wants to make the best of it.
All right. And finally, Aaron Joy.
Hey, I play Neno. She's a forest gnome. She is down below and utterly oblivious of all the fighting up top, although with a reasonable guess, she would guess some fighting is happening, because she went down pretty much before it began. And here's where she is right now. She was praying mightily, hoping for help from either of the gods that she knew of who might could help. And her plan was to assist them by making a culvert to drain the pool into the dumping ground. She's not exactly aware of but she is aware that the pool is filled with gross water, and gross water is the problem with her world as far as she knows. So, but the very unexpected cry for help, she is distracted enough that she now pivots on her heel, dashing back toward Zedek, pulling out her two blades. She's got a dagger. I don't know how much she can do in combat time, but she will apply one. That sounds so deliberate. She will hack viciously at. She would aim for the neck, but I don't think she can reach the neck even with like flying leap. So she'll hack both with both blades at the at the one on his waist and the one on his wrapped around his shoulder. As soon as that's done, she's going to prepare to keep hacking with her dominant hand, which has the sickle, and she's going to be shoving the blade into Zedek's hand.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, let's get started. So let me share my. I think I'm already sharing that screen. Good. Neno, it's your turn. Can you see that? Okay.
I think I just did my turn.
Just yeah. So
Yeah.
let's actually do the mechanics of it.
Okay.
So you're here.
All right. We don't just assume I was a successful hacker.
Yeah.
Successful at hacking with blades.
If you just run,
Mhm.
you're going to be able to go 10, 20, 30. If you sprint, 40, 50, 60, and that will be close enough to interact, but your action will have been to dash. That's how you'll get here.
But it's either run as my action or dash as my action, right?
Those are the same. Run for your movement, go 30, and then your action,
Or 25 for her.
25.
Okay.
Which is
Okay.
valuable for me for this chart. But then your action could be attack with some kind of ranged attack, or you could use your action to push into the next bit to get all the way there.
Oh. Okay. I will delay the slashing, and I will. Yeah, I think she has aim not to hit Zedek, just hit the giant greenish, purplish, grayish
Brain tentacle.
tentacles around him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So do you want to stop here and try to shoot at him?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Roll an attack.
Is that this?
Yeah, just whatever your weapon is. Do you have your weapon up?
Do have my weapon up. It's a blowgun.
Okay.
All right, I'm rolling that on this. I'm not sure that I can. It's
Oh, I'll just
rolling very
tell you.
slowly, but okay.
Yeah, I can. That's fine. Did you roll a die here?
I did.
What was it?
It was a 1.
Okay. So that does not hit. It's a critical miss.
Did I just knock out our hero?
Roll me another d20 to tell me as usual, to tell me the significance of that, how bad bad is and how good is.
Okay, so my blowgun does have a +9 on it. Does that not apply to the?
It does, but you're
Wait, is she a halfling?
ones or oh,
She's a gnome. A 1 is just a failure.
6.
Okay, so it was a pretty bad miss. Not like the worst possible. There wasn't double ones. Nobody would get that bad on anything. But let's see. I'm gonna roll a d4. We've got Zevek, the tentacles, and I'm gonna roll a d6. Zevek, the tentacles, and a mind flayer nearby. And if you get I'll just have it be if you get a 1, it hits Zevek. Otherwise, it does not damage to negative things. Okay, it's a 4. You don't hit Zevek. That's good.
Okay.
Your dart shoots in, but a small tentacle from the mind flayer's would-be head just lashes out and flips it out of the way. It misses. Zevek now seems to, I'm going to give little bits of narrative in the bit here, but Zevek now seems to be something like talking. Maybe he just is saying something, he's having a hard time communicating, but he says, as he's doing it, this is a couple of seconds passing, so you don't hear a whole lot, but he's saying, no, you can't have me or them. And to the best of your ability to tell, it actually sounds like he's responding to something he's hearing. It sounds conversational, not like he's just talking to himself while resisting. He's maybe in his mind or maybe something else. Okay, now let's jump into the actions. It is now that one? Nope. That one. It is now the last of the Coven's turn, the last person in the turn order of the Coven, which is Garatone. We're back up on top now, top side, and I'm just going to get better. I'll have to remember how to get better at switching these, but
who is currently playing a primal predecessor to Donkey Kong.
That's right. That's right. So it is Garatone's turn. Garatone is here near this pack of wolves that belongs to Belvari, as well as an undead Giralon statue.
It's not a statue.
Garatone,
He's riding it.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. He's riding that undead Giralon in a sort of grotesque way. He is going to $60 feet. Okay. He casts a spell that he has, I was going to say at hand, but available to himself right now. Right where he is, a shimmering black line appears and then expands into a rectangle right behind him, and he and the Giralon sort of fall backwards into it. You have actually seen this before. This is something Spolash's aide cast in the Oravan. It's called Dimension Door. And it allows him to go 500 feet to the place of his preference without evoking an opportunity attack. He is going to go, let's see. He's going to come down here.
Did he leave the Girlan
Oh,
behind?
sorry. Let me show you all that. Say that again.
Did he leave the Girlan behind?
No, he and the Girlon travel together. Got it. There we go. They're kind of on top of each other. And then your guy was back there.
He doesn't hold the dimension door open for the wolves, does he?
He does not. And that dimension door
Consider
is. Say it again. That's right. Very inconsiderate. Not a gentleman. Garatone. That is his action for this turn. And that's all he's going to do right now. He's directly controlling the Girlon, so he doesn't get a different action. Like, the Girlon does not get a separate action. It's like kind of with him, part of him. Okay. Next, it is the turn of Arasanala. Arasanala is right near Garatone. And she has a bone. She had been running towards him. She has a bone to pick with him. Whether or not he knows it, she is less than pleased.
a snake.
A bone to pick with.
Yes, my lady.
And I've got her sheet up here. Give me 1 second. I've got to find. There it is.
Matt, you're just being her cheerleader?
I'm the Snake Clan's cheerleader. She's pretty snaky.
Okay.
Matt has the big bullhorn, and I'm in the background going. "Kts, kts, kts." You can't see it, but I'm making the little fang motion with my fingers.
We
With
could
my
imagine
hands.
it.
Yeah.
You can tell when Diamondback goes into cheerleading mode because then he takes on the clan's ceremonial lisp. Right, Matt?
Yeah, my lady.
Snake lisp.
Snake lisp, crows with lips. It's all crazy in here.
What is that noise? Will you pop that open?
Oh, that's the dead one.
Mm-hmm. Rasamala. Sorry, I'm really hoping that I had the foresight to give the Coven characters their actual stats. I did. Woo! Arasanala casts a powerful spell on. Tries to cast it on Garatone. She waves her hands and slithers her body and casts Disintegrate. A ripple of what looks like streaks of black tendrils of mist that are constantly shearing and tearing streak towards Garatone. He has to make a DC 18 dexterity savings throw to avoid it. Oop. That was landed on the floor. Give me 1 sec. Here we go. Let's roll that. He rolls a 15. All right. He takes 10d6 plus 40 damage.
Plus 40?
Ow.
He doesn't react.
Nasty.
Do you see what you're messing with now? What's your name, Matt?
Diamondback.
Diamondback?
Oh,
Right, let's do my
Diamondback
10d6.
knows.
Garatone takes 76 damage.
He'll be all right.
That's kind of a low roll.
Kill the beast while he is wounded.
Wait,
No,
what
it's-
was it? I thought it was 10d6.
It was.
Yeah, it's like 30 and then plus 40. So that's middle of the road.
Oh,
She
10d6 plus 40. Okay.
He is the things that he's wearing and bits of his skin partially disintegrate as he, convulses, collapses for a moment on the back of the Giralon, but straightens himself and is ready to continue fighting.
Does it hit the Giralon too, or is it just a?
Just takes
One
the one
person.
target. And she doesn't care much about the Giralon. She cares about doing it. Although physical attacks, I'll just tell you this, physical attacks on them go to the Giralon first. So, unless you get like a critical hit, then I could be like, okay, you can choose. Something like that. Okay. It is now the turn of the Ancient Copper Dragon. So she's going to roll, decimate this statue of an ancient undead black dragon. He's had one really good roll against it so far. He's going to roll, and he's going to do, what does he have, plus 15 to hit. So he gets I'm going to go right here.
Presumably just trying to break the neck.
Break the statue. Yeah. All right. Did I roll the wrong thing here? What did I roll?
Have we established if each of these hexes is 5 feet or 10 feet?
Those are 10.
10. Okay.
The reason that number was so high is because I rolled D100s instead of D10s. Good. And he does that plus that. Okay. So he, on his second attack of this thing, he basically utterly shatters it. It falls and is broken into pieces. If it were to be unpetrified, it would be a horrifying sight. So it's not meaningfully part of this. He has been out of this part of the battle, but now the Black Dragon is.
And just to paint the picture, that statue of the dragon was bigger than him, right? Or how did they compare?
Roughly
in size?
comparable.
Okay.
Yeah, in D&D terms, just to tell you, an ancient dragon is the biggest size. He's an ancient copper, and this was an ancient undead black. Okay, and there was also nearby a silver wormling creature. Okay,
But it looms above us in the landscape of everything of our surroundings, right?
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
Not any longer.
giants high, and that's
a
even
couple
higher.
hundred feet long, snake, big long, sort of semi-eastern style snake dragon, but with wings and a big dude.
But now it's a pile of rubble.
Now it's large chunks of rubble. Belvari, speaking of you talking, now it's your turn.
I believe it is the wolf pack's turn.
Now it is the wolf pack's turn.
So they can run 80 feet. I think I will, just have them run 80 feet towards me. I think they almost get to me.
Specifically towards you.
Towards the action.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Does that seem fair?
Sure.
All right. And how about you?
Is Braka, he's like flying up in the air, right?
That's right. So he's about about 80 feet in the air because he had to get over the almost tip of the. He's about 70 feet in the air. He had to get almost over the. He had to get over the tip of the ziggurat,
Gotcha.
and he's currently over the ziggurat.
Yeah. Are there any trees in this area?
No. The plain is barren. The disc that you're on, barren of things growing.
But you can use magic now.
Yeah. Yeah. You can do all sorts of fun things. I will. I guess. Well, how far am I from everything? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'll head just south 60 feet.
All right. Belvari is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that.
Sure.
Okay. I slightly varied your direction, then due south to get you a little closer, and I thought you might avoid Arasanala slightly. Okay, Diamondback, it is your turn. At the end of Wira's last turn, she
Came to.
came to, as it were. She's desperately wounded, but is there.
I feel like I've got one more shot at her before there are consequences to not having killed her. So Diamondback is going to do his vampiric touch, which he gets to do a melee spell attack against her, which is going
With
to
advantage.
be. Oh, with advantage. Excellent.
What's the advantage for? I just don't remember.
She's just laying down.
Ah,
So melee attacks get advantage.
Right.
Missile gets
So
advantage.
that's going to be a
Ooh.
21 to hit.
it hits.
Awesome. D6, D6, D6.
Do you use the giant fang dagger as a conduit?
No, if you recall, Diamondback is in like super necromancer mode. One
That's
fist is glowing with like blue death light, and clutched in his other fist is the snake tooth dagger aflame.
Yes. Keeping our goth audience engaged.
Yeah. His leather pants are tight and shiny. That's going to be 12 damage to her with the vampiric touch.
Wow. Okay.
And I
She
get
takes-
half of that amount back for myself.
6 hit points to you.
And then,
Okay. Yeah.
hold on, because I have haste on me from Inkatink's potion. So I can still make another melee attack.
Okay.
Which is one weapon attack only, and I am going to attack with the dagger in my other hand. So that is going to be, also with advantage because she's lying down. So let me roll 2 dice. Oh, it's bad. How is a 12 to hit?
It does not hit.
I don't hit her. Do I think she'll get an opportunity attack on me if I leave?
I don't know the rules, but I think because she's laying down-ish, I'm guessing now. If she's whatever.
Sounds reasonable to me.
I'm sort of, I don't know. I would guess yes because she's not incapacitated.
Oh, incapacitated.
She's just prone. She was incapacitated, but now she's up, but prone.
Let me just. I don't know. Let me see what the internet says.
Oh, haha. Autofill.
Yes.
Yes.
Neither the rules for being prone nor opportunity attacks prevent prone from making opportunity attacks. And there are some player's handbook stuff. So yes, she would get an opportunity attack, such as
And-
she currently is.
Sort of the only reason that I can hit her is because I was like right next to her when this
Yeah.
wall of thorns appeared. So if I move away from her, it's unlikely that I'm going to be able to hit her until she moves out of it.
I'd say that seems reasonable.
Diamondback is going to roll for caution. How cautious is he?
How cautious? Oh,
How-
you're rolling. I see. You're rolling. Yeah.
Yeah, so no, I'm gonna stay here. I'll stay right here. That's my
Okay.
turn.
For the sake of this fight, because I'm pretty sure it's the end fight, this is the last night, I'm going to give you all little tiny pieces of information that you wouldn't know, but you have no way of knowing, but it's also just for the sake of the drama of it. Diamondback, your previous hit on her got her down to 2 hit points.
So I think that's all of our bad luck for the night.
Somebody throw a
We had-
rock at her. Anything.
And actually hit her.
And actually,
Yeah, we've rolled 1-1 and we've not knocked her out. That's all our bad luck used up.
I think I've rolled 6 ones in a single night before.
What did you say?
I think I've rolled 6 ones in a single night before.
Wow, thank you. You used up lots of days of our bad luck.
All right, give me 1 sec here. Fa's turn. He is busily being...
A gaseous cloud? Is that it?
No, Fa is down below. He is busy having his
Encephaloectomy.
mind changed.
Encephaloectomy.
Sure, I'll take it.
Medical grade persuasion.
That's exactly it.
Surgical. Yeah. Nice.
So you have elected for the Dark One to consume you.
In a brand new surgery of encephalectomy. Congratulations, right this way.
I wonder if he would think of that as an honor.
Certainly not.
Like if he was truly faithful to his brain god.
None of
or
the
if
Nazi
he-
hired generals would consider it an honor to die in a concentration camp.
Yeah, that's true. But it's to feed, you know?
People who love power, it's all
They're
love.
not loyal.
They're loyal to power for themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
It is my turn. I'm sorry, my turn. I mean Weira's turn. Weira, so Fa has gone. He's gone. It is Weira's turn. Weira casts a
does she have to
spell.
roll about the thorns that she's in?
At the end of her turn, she does.
The end. She's gonna vaporize me.
Don't
Let's
worry, I'll lead them well.
Extra disturbing. He was
survive.
quoting somebody.
Sorry, I almost have it. I was picking. Where is it? There we go. Okay, that's it. Weira casts a spell on herself. It is, you can tell by the effort and energy she puts into it. Actually, somewhat recognize it if you happen to be looking. But she casts a spell on herself, and she, for a moment, starts looking a lot like Arasanala. She's turns long, and she's laying on the ground. She turns long and serpentine and kind of gets scales and such. She's cast True Polymorph on herself, and her resemblance to a Rasanala is fleeting because as she is there, I'm just putting it down so you can see here. She is there. She begins to grow. And she is transformed into an adult green dragon.
Unsubscribe. 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 Delete. Block. Block. Filter. Pseudo.
That is her turn.
Not almost dead, like all together, and
She gets all. It's interesting. True polymorph, just to tell you, true polymorph, as opposed to giving you the appearance of, and you keep her in mind, you get all the stats of the original. So she's less intelligent or more intelligent, less dexterous or more dexterous. All the hit points. She just.
So she went from 2 hit points to a dragon's hit points?
Yeah.
Crud.
But not an ancient one, an adult one. She's smaller than, which is something. That's based. There are rules based on what you can change into. Okay, that is her turn.
Did she take her thorn damage?
Say it again.
Did she take her
Yeah,
thorn damage?
I will roll her thorn damage, and I'm going to give her over here her hit points tracking dragon style.
so how big is she? Like Yoshka's right there.
Mm-hmm.
He's about 5'10".
This says huge. So it goes medium is Yoshka size. This D&D rules a little flexible. Medium, and then a large, which is about tall, a little bigger than actually tall, probably still medium. Large is like maybe a gorilla. And then, oh, here you go. The
Each thing-
giant elk.
Each size is like double the previous size.
Yeah.
In almost.
She's like the giant elk y'all fought when you met Gulb,
So she's like 20 feet tall.
something like that. Okay, as far as her, whatever that thing was called, where she has to roll for the thing, that's called Wall of Thorns. She rolls. Oh no, actually, she rolls with whatever her new stats are, which are. Toll, what's your spell DC? I think it was 17, 16? Remember?
For the dex save, what is it? Dex 12.
A 12? Okay. So she rolls, I don't know how dexterous dragons are. Not very.
They don't have thumbs. I know
She
that.
rolls a 19. She does not take damage from this.
It's half damage, I think, right?
Oh, okay. Which means how much?
78, half of 78.
Okay. Do you want me to roll it or you can?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay.
Uh, 15.
Okay. And now we get back into a more regular flow here. Yoshka, it is your turn.
Where
Would you
am
like
I?
to see?
Am I like right in front of the dragon?
Yeah, I mean, you're hiding behind Diamondback.
Oh, the tables have turned, my friend.
It's very true.
Oh man. All right. Well,
Garatone's behind you. Weira, the green dragon, is in front of you.
If you're paying attention to Diamondback's body language, it's probably like, okay, dragon, we can't kill this dragon. Let's kill Garatone now. Like, well,
Garatone is right in the middle.
new
Okay.
target. Weira's out.
And Arasanala just did some serious damage to Garatone. He just appeared behind you, riding an undead Giralon. And Arasanala just hit him for 76 damage.
Okay, and what are these things?
So
Inkatink
Inkatink has
lions.
one lion left. It's these little magic lions that are now full-sized lions. And he has an air elemental. And there's an Inkatink. And then there's Cinderon the Blinding, Gotish, Eater of the Dead, Garatone with flayed hands, and Wira who closes her eyes. This is the Wall of Thorns, that little wall.
Okay.
Belvari's here. So right around Garatone is Belvari, Arasanala, Yoshka, Diamondback, and Toll. Inkatink's in there, but he's a little further away.
Okay. There's like nowhere, just my immediate positions, there's nowhere safe to run.
Yeah.
So,
As sometimes happens with boss battles.
yeah.
Keep in mind, Inkatink has told you multiple times that he has a bunch of stuff to distribute. I'm just saying that's something that you might remember.
Well, I'm kind of anti-magical.
Oh, touche. Never mind. If you want to use common sense.
Running straight towards Toll takes you a little bit away
Yeah, I guess so.
if you wanted to go towards Toll.
Toll's right next to Cinderon.
Cinderon.
And okay. And Garatone is on the back of this Garalon.
That's right.
So I can't really see him and shoot at him. It's just this
Physically.
big monkey.
Yeah. You see that he's
And
there.
the wolves.
They're way up here. They were
Are
up here,
not
and
here
they're
yet.
running, are bolting towards.
All right. Well, I suppose Yoshka is going to. Let's see. I just have one attack, right? I suppose he will move towards. Who did you say that was again? Toll.
Toll is right here.
Yeah. And shoot at the monkey, I guess.
Okay. How far do you want to move towards Toll?
Let's see. I guess I
30
can
feet.
go 30 feet and shoot.
Zoom in a little bit so I can see what's happening. 1, 2, 3. Now you're standing right next to Toll.
Sure.
All right. And roll that attack on the Titan.
Ooh, not so hot. A 5 plus plus 8 at the Giralon.
Which
So
I have right here.
13.
And it hits.
Ah.
It's just an animal, not wearing armor.
Well, it takes. Wow, that was pretty good. 10 damage. It's a pretty good arrow.
Yeah. The Giralon has been partially ravaged by the wolves and is actually in bad shape right now.
Wow.
Okay.
And then I guess with my bow still in my hand, I will just let my scarf dance, my handkerchief
Good.
waft in the breeze.
Yeah, twirl it. Okay. We now turn our attention to Coven member number 3, which is Bracha, who is flying over. Where's my mouse? There it is. Bracha is flying over the tower. He is going to, let me see here. So he's got Belvari and Inkatink. Inkatink's a little closer and has an air elemental. Okay, Braka the Squalid is going to. I can't quite see the hexes there. Yeah, okay. He stays where he is, hovering. No, wait, he doesn't actually, because he cast fly before. Oh, there it is. Okay. So he is going to actually, Braka is going to alight. Just in the nearest place right there. Right there. He sets down and out from under his sort of grotesque mass of fetid rags, Braka the Squalid stretches out a fat hand and points one kind of wavering finger at Inkatink, casting a spell.
Gross. He's fat too. Oh.
He specifically casts. Let me see if you find out what he casts, because if they're just save throwing saves or something. Yeah. Inkatink. Make for me, please, a con savings throw.
$19. I'm a hardy boy.
Good. I have to look at what his spell save is. Yeah, you pass. Yay! So you're going to take instead
1,728 damage.
I had a visceral sensation of relief at that. Like my upper arm muscles, such that they are loosened.
Such that they are. That's why I rolled quickly. The anxiety was already beginning to build for me.
You take divided by 2. You take 29 damage.
No!
He has pointed at you with a thing called Finger of Death. You send negative energy coursing through a creature that you can see with searing pain. You make a con saving throw, take 78 plus 30 necrotic damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. A humanoid killed by this spell, I don't know if you're killed yet, but a humanoid killed by this spell, at the start of your next turn, turns as a zombie that is under the command of the one who used the Finger of Death spell.
Why do you
That
keep
is
turning me into zombies?
But
Why do you keep doing this?
wait, but are
That's
you
it, guys.
killed? You're unconscious. If you've dropped to 0 hit points, you're unconscious.
It dropped me to 0 hit points.
You're not killed. You're unconscious.
Okay.
How many hit points did you have? You have, how much did you take? 57?
I took 29 and I had 27. You killed me
Okay.
by 2.
You're not
So the
dead.
amount you're over,
You
not
dropped
yet,
me.
you're unconscious
by
by 2. Okay, great. Great to know that. I was trying to understand. There are some rules. If he'd gotten killed by a certain amount of damage over, it would have actually just killed him, but he didn't. He's in.
Can Inkatink open his eyes and look around and see like kind of a hazy scene of a tree house around him? There's nobody around, but he's just waking up in a tree house.
Sure.
Okay. He hasn't gotten out of bed yet.
He believes that.
Sure. That's what he sees.
Are the birds chirping?
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Dusk. The dusk birds are chirping.
I hate to
did
say
you-
it, but what happens to his lion and air elemental when he falls?
Yeah, I don't know. The air elemental was created by a
Blue
a
gem.
gem, right?
Yep.
They were both activated objects, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
An air elemental is summoned as if you had cast the conjure elemental spell, and the gem's magic is lost, and it's a concentration spell, so that went away.
Hmm.
The lions, which are a little bit different, they're like a weird figurine of
Wondrous
power?
power.
that one. And it says, a statuette of a beast, you can use an action to speak the word, living creature. Creature's friendly, understands your commands. If you issue no commands, the creature defends itself, but takes no other actions.
But he probably issued commands prior to this.
Told it to attack one of the beast lords, named in particular to attack Simderon. And Simderon, because he's a beast master, right as they were about to attack, instead directed them to attack Toll.
He was like, sit.
That's right.
Good lion.
They are currently running to Toll. Well, it is. One of them's dead. Currently running to Toll.
Presumably burning some sort of legendary influence to do so, though. I don't know.
Presumably.
Presumably speaking.
Okay. Let's see. All right. That looks good. It doesn't say anything specifically about you needing to do anything that I can see. Okay. I mean, like, it's not a concentration thing or anything like that, as far as I can tell. Okay. It is now the turn of the next person. These guys are using a lot of their high-level spells. That's what's happening here.
Yeah.
That was that Lich. The Giralon on Garatone, he does not attack under his own action there. It is now, that was Braka. It is now the next one's turn. Simderon. It's not Simderon's turn. Then Gotish. I just have the tabs in the Google Doc in order. So I just go the first.
Has
second, third,
Gotish
fourth.
gone once already?
Yes.
Okay, I think he skipped me.
Oh no, not this turn. He hasn't.
No, but
We just did
wasn't he the
Braka.
first one to go when we came back? Like when we started today?
No, that Garatone.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yep. Next, right now is sorry, we just did this guy. Right now is Cinderon, then some other stuff.
Gotcha.
Cinderon tried to cast True Polymorph, but Toll managed wisely not to be changed into something.
Oh, yeah.
So good job.
Wait, so Weira cast that on herself?
She did. She's a willing
Whoa.
creature. Unlike Toll, who had an ability to resist, she wasn't trying to resist. She used it as a escape from her imminent demise. So this is now we're on Gotish. Gotish is going to cast. Let me see if he's close enough, actually. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to Yoshka, 8 to Toll, 1 of the lions. He's a little. Inkating's not in that part right now. Diamondback's too far away. Okay, so Gotish going to. He's not quite close enough to cast those things. He's going to do. instead, he is going to awaken, unpetrify a Giralon that is behind him and nearby him. So this Giralon is now in play. And I'm going to
Oh, great.
indicate that to myself.
That's cool.
And also I'll which this one. Okay. But that's his turn. He doesn't do anything else for that. Now, Toll, it's your turn.
Cool. So is everybody attacking Garatone?
If you're talking, I couldn't quite hear you.
I could hear
Is
you.
everybody attacking Garatone?
Yeah.
As of
But-
yet, only Yoshka and Arasanala have, but that was the table talk around the water cooler.
Wolves attacked him.
Yeah.
That's true. The wolves did attack Garatone. Getting
And
his
my second
Giralon.
question is, are we respecting challenge rating limits for wild shape?
There was some rule that I can't remember now in how it worked for how that challenge rating worked. So yes-ish. You've been doing that, right, Belvari?
Yes, my school of druidism lets me take up to, I can't remember, challenge rating 2 immediately. I don't have to like level into it. But I
Oh,
believe
okay.
we've been, if you have the what are they called?
Components.
Component, Sir Robert. I believe you were saying that you change into any challenge rating. It just takes a ton of components.
Yeah. I'm okay being loose on the component part right now. Just, we'll cool the end part of this battle.
Yeah, I mean we have lots of components to spare, so
Yeah.
You want to give me a recommendation, Belvari? Because I don't know off the top of my head what's reasonable.
We're about the same level too.
I had a spreadsheet of that. Where is that? Let me see.
I think you did like a tiger at one point.
Whoops.
Yeah, tigers were good. Actually, a bear is really good. If you have any cave bear components, that would be get you a lot of hit points at least. Soak some damage.
Okay,
The fact that they can be
then
really powerful
that
allows. I mean, obviously, they
that's
rely on
it to me if
True.
my internet will
That's shooting
load.
conjectures now.
Yeah.
So if that is cool with you, Sir Robert, I will transform into a cave bear.
Do it. I will, if it's okay with you, rely on you to manage those stats and so forth.
Yeah, that's fine. They have 42 health.
Yeah, and I'll get that multi-attack, which is nice.
Okay.
Am I within 40 feet of Garatone?
Yeah, just barely.
And then
That's
one final
where I'm
thing,
going.
Cole, what level are you? I think at level 6, the all your attacks become magical. Just in case that matters for hitting Garatone.
Okay.
Okay. I'll remember that too. I'll try. So, Toll, I moved you to be right next to the Giralon.
Cool.
Is that your turn?
So
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
can't attack because that's an action. Yeah, I suppose that is my turn.
Wait,
Okay.
don't you have the that potion of speed. Did I give that to you?
Yeah, didn't you drink it?
I didn't drink it, but I thought that it took an action.
Okay.
If it doesn't
All
take
right.
an action, I will have drank it before I transformed.
It does take an action.
Yeah, I was gonna say you might want to drink it and then transform.
It takes an action, but it might yield an action.
It'll
as well.
yield multiple actions over the next few actions, but it's up to you, man. It's up to you.
I mean, are we thinking of fleeing?
No. You'll be able to attack more. You'll get extra attacks and you'll have higher AC.
Dang. I'm down to 23 hit points if I don't wild shape, but I mean, that's a good idea.
I see what you mean. They are doing. Go ahead.
Just as a cave bear, it's okay with me if you take the potion, as your next action.
Okay, let's do that.
Cool. All right.
You could have turned into a cow.
That would be utterly preposterous, Jared.
Inkatink,
Woohoo!
it is your turn.
All right. So, Inkatink, his body is kind of rapidly jittering and shaking and jolting nervously because the haste spell does not require concentration. So, he's very rapidly being unconscious. I suppose the only thing left for me to do is to make a death save.
Wait. Action. So I could just drink the potion and then wild shape, right?
You can't use that extra action to wild shape. There's a list of specific things you can do with it.
Oh, okay. Yep, never mind.
So, alrighty.
Okay, but you could like if you were planning on moving and attacking in your turn, you could move and drink the potion and then use that extra action to attack with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I need the heals more than I need to attack.
Okay. So Inkatink is laying there as fast as he can.
Indeed, with great fervor.
And what's going on?
And he rolls a 17 on his first roll to avoid death. So
Nice.
that's a success.
All right.
I'm not sure what else I can do in this condition, but Inkatink hears the sound of the birds, and he lays back down in the bed and closes his eyes and tries to shut out the sound of the birds.
Okay. It is now Gotish. No, Gotish just activated the Giralon. It is now Garatone's turn. What's up? Oh, I'm sorry. That one I missed. Wait. Do I have the wrong
So at
number?
the start of this
1, 2.
today, you said it was that guy.
Garatone. Yeah,
Which means
Garatone
down
went.
here We've got which means down here after Inkatink, we've got the other guy.
No. The last one on my list is Garatone, right? That was right after you guys went. I'm just looking at the D&D Beyond thing. Here, I'll show you that. That was Garatone. He went right before Rasanala.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one before
Inkatink
Garatone.
comes Gotish.
Okay, Gotish. Cinderon is like wrong. Sorry.
It's all good.
Or maybe I didn't.
I just keep editing it, and I apparently keep editing it wrong every time.
I had Gotish. Okay, Cinderon didn't go this time. I think I switched Cinderon and Gotish. The problem, my big challenge with D&D Beyond's combat tracker is I can't name the creatures. in the thing, so I have to have them in a separate sheet, and I just have 6 of the guys, and then the sheets are in order, but I sometimes get mismatched. I just have to make a homebrew creature, but then it takes like 3 days or 2 days to get approved and go through. Then I can add it to the combat. Whatever. Anyway, it's not a complaint. It's just has been a little challenge. Okay. So I'm going to do Syndron slightly wrong order this time, but here we are.
Does Cinderon have to expend any kind of action to prevent the lions from attacking him?
Cinderon already redirected the lions.
Oh,
which,
in
by the way,
multiple rounds. Okay.
oops. Actually, you know what? I'm going to check if these lions are smart. I don't actually know that. Give me a second here. Let me just look at what D&D lions. Golden lions.
They become actual
They are
lions.
not smart. I'm going to give them advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on smell, which I don't think this is. I rolled off the table. There. A 6 plus, no, -4. Okay. They are lost. When you changed shape into a bear, they no longer know who they're supposed to attack. So they're just sitting there.
Exactly as I planned.
Oh, those meddling kids.
So do they go back to doing what I told them, or does the lack of the ability to successfully carry out define their state?
Their new master told them to do something.
Their new master.
And they can't carry it out, so they sit. They just
Can be like
don't
that,
do
huh?
anything.
Can be like
They
that.
defend themselves. Okay. It is now that other guy's turn. He's going to do. Yoshka. Let me see. You're the closest one to him now that Toll has fled. I think that one's you. Yeah. Yoshka, Cinderon casts a wicked spell at you. You need to roll a con savings throw with a DC. I'll tell you in a sec.
Rolled a 9.
Okay.
But I do have my hanky out.
Okay, so for damage purposes, you mean?
Yeah.
So a con saving throw and a DC 17. So you didn't quite make that, but you are in a restrained position, and your flesh is beginning to harden.
Ooh,
You
I
feel
know
yourself
that one.
statuing a little bit like the other figures on this platform. And just to give you, I'm just going to read to y'all what's happening. You attempt to turn one creature you can see within range to stone. If the target's body is made of flesh, they must make a con saving throw. If they're failed, they're restrained. The flesh is beginning to harden. A creature restrained by the smell must make another con saving throw at the end of each turn. If it successfully saves against the spell 3 times, it defeats the spell. If it times, it's turned to stone and then becomes petrified for 1 minute. That's the length of the spell. Or until Cinderon loses concentration.
Okay.
Successes and failures are not consecutive, so it's basically the same as a death save mechanic.
Okay.
Keep track of both until 3 of a kind. If the creature is physically... So my reading of this is, on a failed save, it begins to... My reading of this is that the first failure you just got does not count as one of your 3. It's... You have to get... Now it's a 50-50 on whether the thing
Okay.
overtakes you. Okay.
And I do that at the end of each turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
If the creature is physically broken while petrified, it suffers from similar deformities if it reverts to its original state.
Mm,
And then if he maintains concentration for the entire possible duration, then the creature is turned to stone until the effect is canceled by something else.
As a bard, if you fall, then I'll stand over you and sing, "You fell into pieces," just like that for like hours on end.
But
You can
won't
still
be
attack.
messed up.
You just have disadvantage. And just so you know, attacks have an opportunity to break concentration.
okay.
You can be attacked, and then whoever tries to physically attack you, or whoever tries to attack you, has advantage. Okay. So that is there. It is now Zevek and Neno down into the abyss.
You can get 1 turn, 2 turns tonight
Maybe more.
if things go faster.
Okay. Neno. You hear Zebek. You have been hearing him as seconds are passing. Y'all are doing this stuff, mumbling. You're putting together that he's something like arguing with / talking to this elder brain. His part seems to be mumbled aloud. The other part of the conversation you can't hear. So what he mostly seems to be saying, I'm going to summarize this because it's been like these little muttered bits. He's saying things like, there's a better way. This is not, don't do this. He's trying to be persuasive. The elder brain seems to be able to resist and has now, by this point, pulled Zevek closer. I'm going to put him right there. In the mind flayers. Sorry, it's their turn. Fa is now in a heap. I have been doing the mind flayers before. Fa is now in a heap. The 2 mind flayers have come. These 2 mind flayers have come over here, and this one is just something like walking with Zebek, readying for whatever the elder brain is doing. He's serving. These 2 are giving Fa's brain to the elder brain, and like grossly inserting it or something. Right. As the conversation here finishes, Zebek, who's held tightly, but he can still talk, but it's like distorted, and he's being held, speaks to you again and says, let me get this right, says, Neno, he'll turn the whole world into night. Don't let him take my mind. The magic is the power.
Where are the tentacles coming out from the brain?
All over. There's a lot of them.
So I can't tell if the ones on him are attached to the bottom or attached to the top, or
It's just a big old tentacly mass.
Okay.
This brain is like 8 feet wide, and it's a huge thing. And also, from what you piece together, I'm giving you out of character stuff that Nino may have pieced together. From what you've pieced together, it was strong enough that it did not compel Zebek, like, I should go there. But it did successfully persuade Arasanala, Toll, and all three of them. It was able to, like, sort of pull in with its mind. It's very, very powerful. You can tell it emanates a sort of awesome oppression.
Okay. So in my imagination, the tentacles that are binding Zebek are like 6 inches in diameter. Is that what you're picturing?
Sure.
Okay.
Say. I didn't have a specific.
Okay.
Let me say this. Let me roll something. What?
I imagine them as big because I thought I could hit them when I blow darted. But if they're like...
Roll me a wisdom savings throw. Not savings throw, just a wisdom roll with a very low DC.
All right.
I will tell you the DC. Let's make it...
It's a 16.
Okay, yeah. You can't do anything meaningful to this brain with blow darts or stabs or anything. This is it would be like attacking your dragon friend with your blow dart. Maybe. You'd be like 1,000 darts in by the time you're like making real progress.
Okay. So
that was me having you roll for the wisdom of like trying to attack the brain that way.
Got it. So Nino is still being carried forward on her inertia. She makes it the rest of the way to Zebek.
I'm going to do this as you're narrating.
Her blades are out. And she her priorities are tied between can she slice off any of these tentacles, and simultaneously eye contact with Zebek, asking if you were free, could you beat him? That's what she asks while hacking.
Okay. That's a small enough number of words for it not to be like any kind of action or anything.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to roll for his, he knows you, his ability to read kind of what you're trying to say, or no, you actually ask him.
I actually ask him, yeah.
Let me roll for his wisdom or whatever. Like what's this? This is going to be to make Matt or Josh or anybody. Do y'all know making a threat assessment? What kind of role is that?
It depends. You could classify it under being in the nature of a thing. Like if it's a magic thing, you could have them make it with Arcana, and if it's a religious thing, I guess maybe you could do it with religion, but otherwise it could be an intelligence check.
You can have the thing roll an intimidation check against something.
I'm going to have Zebek do an intelligence check to see whether he thinks he could do that. Just a straight intelligence check. It's not really an investigation. He's not trying things. He's just measuring it. A 13. which is a 29 for him. So he's confident, and he says he hears you and manages to eke out a few words. I'm stretching his entire action out because he's not meaningfully taking one. Struggling. He says, sorry, give me 1 second. He says, you ask, if you were free, can you defeat it? He says, couple of words. Even if I could, even if I could kill it here, the world is doomed by the magic. And then he says, destroy the water. Save them.
Okay. Am I out of moves?
You talked, which is free action. You ran. You have a bonus action, and I think it's just a bonus action. If you have something you can do as a bonus action.
What was her
For
action?
your action, you tried to cut him free of one of the.
Oh,
I
actually,
Tentacles,
moved
right?
there, and I moved to him.
but you
And
didn't do the hacking yet, right? Or did you? You
I
were wondering if you could.
I was like stabbing flailingly at him while I asked. I was multitasking.
I will say this: we didn't roll for an action or anything. I'm okay if you. This is like a big old fat snake. You're not going to cut through that in like one swish.
Okay.
So that's your impression. Maybe you could hack one off, but he has like 50 tentacles. The guy, the
Okay.
brain. That's why I was
Um,
saying before about you rolling in. You know, it's not like a fist fight. So you have an action.
Okay. Then my action is to put my dagger into Zebek's hand and turn around in preparation for a sprint.
Okay. Your sickle. Is that what you
Dagger.
have? You have a dagger.
I have both. I'm giving him the dagger. I'm keeping the sickle.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I hate that. Yep.
He's fully restrained.
He pretty much just told me I can't cut him loose.
Mhm.
He has prioritized me solving the water problem over helping him. I do believe, does believe that the instruction about the water was from him and not from Creepy Brain speaking through him. Because I don't think Creepy Brain would have stopped the magic.
And you haven't yet seen him, the brain speak through him,
Right.
at least that you know of.
It was a possibility, but listening to what he said, that sounded like him. I think I'm giving him the blade either so that he can remove himself from being food, or he just won't be able to and he'll become food. But in the meantime, I will be working on the water. And I really don't like that.
Okay. Is that your action?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me switch back to our over. One more quick round here. Quick round. All right. Can you all see that screen now?
Not yet. Yep.
All right. Let's get into this bit. That was Neno. My order is all messed up for some reason, apparently. Still from the other thing, but now I'm on the last one, which is Garatone's turn. This was the one he did right after you next time, and he did the dimension door. Garatone is on this Giralon. He uses his action to detach from the Giralon, which I'm going to leave Garatone where he is and see if I can select this. Nope, maybe I can't. Okay, nope. Sorry, one sec. They were kind of next to each other, but basically Garatone hops off. All right. That's his action. And he's right next to Cave Bear Toll. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. No, he's going to stay. It's hard to select. I'm sorry. Hey, Toll, when does that? When does the Wall of Thorns go away, if it does?
It is a concentration up to 10 minutes.
Okay.
And I am still concentrating. Actually, can I maintain that in wild shape?
I don't know.
Yes, famously, you can concentrate on one spell in wild shape.
Okay.
There we go. Gosh, that was hard to select that piece. They're in the same spot, Giratone and the Giralon and the.
Approximately 7% of all optimized power builds involve the phrase, while concentrating on the spell in wild shape.
Seems fair. Okay, Giralon, Toll, the Giralon is going to attack you because you're right there being a cave bear, and Garatone doesn't like that.
Inconsiderate of him.
Yeah, that's right. Your AC, he's going to go right here. I'm just going to roll all of them at once. He gets several attacks as he has the hands and the feet. I mean, the hands and the teeth. What's your AC? Does an 18 hit you?
It does.
Does a 14 hit you?
Yep.
And an 11?
No.
Okay. So he has 3 hits on you. For a total of 3.
No, one of those didn't hit.
One of them did not?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just do 2 of them hit you. Oh, no, sorry, real quickly. Sorry, 1 I didn't say because it was natural 20.
Okay.
He did 5 attacks. So 1 I didn't say because it was low. 1 I didn't say because it was high.
Gotcha.
Okay, so he does 20 damage to you, Toll. The
I
Giralon
was
does.
thinking that would be way worse.
Yeah, I mean, you only got 3 hits on you. And they're like fists, not. Okay. That was Toll. Sorry, no, that was not Toll. That was the Giralon. Now it is Arasanala's turn. She still is unhappy with Garatone.
A mere 6 seconds later, she still hasn't gotten over it.
That's right. She does something you have seen before. She points at Garatone. And though her finger is not as fat, it wavers in the same way that Brakaz did. And she points a finger of death at Garatone, attempting to kill him, having now weakened him.
Pointing and name calling here.
It's a lot of that. Actually, you know what? Sorry, no. She hurt him really badly, so she would do something different right now. She would get him weak and trying to estimate his ability. So I'm going to give her a DC 10 to see if she can accurately estimate his power, his whatever. So 50-50, DC 10, just on a straight die roll. 13. She does accurately. She points at Garatone again, but a different kind of point than the chubby-fingered Braka did. And this is extremely familiar to you in particular, Diamondback. You've seen her do this. You've seen her do this to you before. She points at you and says, my life was yours, but your death is mine. And utters a word of power to try to kill him if he has fewer than 100 hit points. That was what she was willing to figure out. This is her one issuance of power word kill.
Yes.
She casts it. Garatone, I'm sorry. Garatone, in fact, does have fewer than 100 hit points. And he still mounted into the back of the undead Giralon. He collapses, hanging from it.
Oh.
Airline get disadvantage on attack rolls now.
The
No,
Giralon,
he gets a 6th attack, a spin attack.
Oh, no.
the Giralon is now a ladybug.
It's called the Warlock Cape.
Oh.
Garatone is dead. He's no longer.
4 to go. No, wait. 5 to go. No, wait. 4 to go.
It is now your friend turn.
Come on.
That was really good. That was really good there.
He's finished his business. It's time to come take down one of these things.
He said reverberantly.
It is time, great copper dragon. Come and do your work!
Ah,
That's going to stay in the pilot.
That's right. That was prestidigitation. There's a little cantrip to add a little color to it. Okay. He can fly 80 feet.
And I guess he sees another dragon now.
And he sees yet another. The kind of dragon she is known to be evil. The color dragon, so green is one. He, being a metallic dragon, is known to be of good natured. Let's go ahead and pop these in. He can fly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Putting him here.
Does he have a breath weapon?
He does.
Ooh.
What's his range on it? It is 90-foot line, 10 feet wide. So if he were to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you could hit Braka or Simdaron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If he goes for Simdaron, he's going to hit one of the lions that's attacking Toll. Okay. He goes for Braka. He sprays his dragon breath. You haven't seen him do this before. This friend of yours, though now frightening. It is a slowing breath. Each creature must make a DC 22 con saving throw. On a failed save, the creature can't use reactions. Its speed is cut in half, can only make one attack, and has some other stuff. It's the opposite of haste. It's slowed way down.
Which is meaningful in such a big open place.
Mm-hmm. It can either use an action or a bonus action, but not both. Lasts for a minute. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. You know what? I just want to check to make sure. Nope, he has another breath as well. Same 90-foot line. He's going to do it a little differently. Acid breath. I didn't see he had 2 breaths. The dragon exhales acid in a 90-foot line. Each creature must make a DC 22 Dex savings throw, taking 14d8 acid damage if they fail, or half as much. Yeah. So this was on Braka. He has to make a DC 22 Dex savings throw. He has a +2 on Dex. He rolls a 3.
Carl is squalid, the gross guy.
Mm-hmm. So he rolls a 5 total. He fails. He needs to now take where's my dragon? There he is. He takes 14d8. Which I'm going to roll here so I don't have to count. $53 to Braka.
They have this league of damage where it's like, well, maybe Inkatink had some of that. But it's like,
You know,
we don't roll that many dice. There's our
that's
strong friends and our strong foes.
Okay. Also, they're way higher level than you guys. Like, it's an interesting kind of leveling mix and numbers. I hope interesting. Okay. Calm down.
Yep, it's
Totally kidding. That's fine. Doesn't matter at all. I'm not going to joke that Aaron Joy is just spilling her drugs all over the place.
Good. That might be misunderstood in the recording.
Yeah,
I've told you they're nootropics.
it was penicillin.
Nelatrop.
Okay, great. Now it is the next person's turn. Who is Belvari?
Belvari's wolf pack.
Yes, indeed. Let me finish my sentence. This wolf. Oh my gosh, Belvari.
The wolf pack would like to move towards Braka. 80.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Wolf pack will move towards Braka. 80 feet.
Okay. Why aren't they doing that? Hold on.
Can't they just barely make it?
It doesn't matter because they can only move 40 and attack.
For some reason that I can't understand, I'm not grabbing it. What am I doing here wrong?
Is the right layer?
I don't know. Give me a sec.
Sometimes you can name the layers.
Yeah, there we go. And you're moving 40 feet towards Braka.
80 feet.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let him go through the mouth. 5, 6, 7. Is that good?
Sure.
They can go further, but they don't need to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have them be back 1, so the dragon can hit him without hitting the wolf pack. If
So like here
yeah,
or here?
out of the line. Yeah, right there.
Okay, great. Cool. Next is your turn, Belvari proper.
Belvari normal. Belvari would like to take 1 step closer to Inkatink. I believe that will put him within 60 feet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So you go 10 feet towards Inkatink.
He will then cast Healing Word as a bonus action.
Yes.
Okay.
And Inkatink gets 4 the minimum number of hit points that I can give him.
Say what?
You got 4 hit points.
Heck yeah, Bo.
And then
Those are some precious hit points.
Yeah, they are.
Sweet, tasty, succulent hit points.
and then am I 60 feet from Simdaron?
No. 1, 2, 3. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 80 feet.
Okay, I'll go ahead and use the rest of my movement to get a little bit closer to Simdaron.
You see that Inkatink has a
Trying to not
potion.
be in line with what's his
dragon.
name? The dragon and whoever. Just in case.
Yep. Let me look.
Can I ask Belvari a quick question?
6.
No.
You're out of range, Belvari, by 10 feet.
Okay, nice. And then I will cast Ice Knife at Simdaron.
Okay.
Is +6 to hit. Oh man, 11. Does that hit?
Does not.
Well, anyway, it explodes, hitting him for 2d6 cold damage,
Okay.
which is
2d6 on Simdaron.
8 cold damage, and I believe Simdaron will then need to see if he still has concentration on his turning Yoshika into stone.
Yes, indeed. And I forgot what that is. Is that a 50-50 as well?
I'm not sure.
I think it is.
Concentration.
I'm just reading real quickly.
That didn't help. Concentration. The one result in D&D Beyond.
You must make a con saving throw. Okay, DC 10 con.
Gotcha.
Okay, which for him is just a DC 10. He doesn't have any bonus on con. All right, DC 10, Yoshka. If he gets under 10, his petrification is broken. 10 or over, I think. He's not. 10. 10 or over. So he's maintained concentration for the moment.
But he did get a little bit of damage.
Yep. It is now, that was Gavari. Diamondback, it's up to you.
All right, Mr. DM. I'm going to try some nonsense.
Well, you're casting a spell on me right now with that.
Reverb.
Are you ready for some player nonsense? So I have a question, and the question is, how tall is Wira right now? 20 feet tall?
Yeah, that's huge.
Sure.
My question is, never mind. Okay, I'm not going to do that. She's way too big for doing that. I'm going to ask, I have a question for you, which is, I have 2 spell effects on me now, Haste from a Potion and also Vampiric Touch, which I cast and I'm concentrating on. If I use my staff to turn into a snake, do I keep both of those effects? Or either of them?
Haste, yes.
The staff
Yeah, your
is
staff
not-
doesn't require concentration. Yeah, you keep them both.
Okay, awesome. In that case, yeah, I think that that's the best thing I can do at this point. So,
You're going to take on Wira Snako Snako.
yeah, so I take on the shape of a. So this is my action to do this. But what I'm going to do is use my haste action, my extra haste action, to take the disengage action. And then I'm going to move away from Wira. See if I can like cross the water towards Yoshka. I have 30 feet of movement.
That puts you here.
Okay, am I like in the water?
Yeah, but the water, or
It's like
it's a little channel. It's a non-issue.
So I'm just standing there. Cool. And then for my action, my real action, I'm going to use my staff's power to transform myself into a giant coral snake. I shift and meld and transform. And now I'm a giant coral snake.
Okay.
90 hit points. An AC 13 and a swim speed.
Okay.
And blind sight.
Nice. Is that your turn? Is that all you
Yeah,
have?
that's my turn. That's all I can do.
Okay. Great. It is now the turn of Fa. He can't do anything. Now it's Wira. Wira perhaps surprisingly right now. She is going, let's see, 60 feet. How close are you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wira casts a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She breathes her breath in a 60-foot cone. That is going to hit. Let me just show y'all. I don't know if I can draw it or something. How do I make a path? Here we go. That's probably how I do it.
Oh boy.
From here, she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So that's her kind of cone that she's hitting. How do I make it stop? Okay.
Brutal. I should have run the other direction. Shouldn't have bunched up.
I
with
couldn't hear you. I'm
Yoshka.
sorry.
Bad strategy.
Mhm. Each of you needs to make a wisdom. No. A Constitution savings throw.
It's the only thing I'm good at.
That's Belvari, Toll, Yoshka, and Diamondback.
How's a 15?
$16.
Didn't make it.
And Diamondback?
7.
Sorry, it was 7?
7.
Okay. This was poison breath. 15 and 16 are good. 7 and Yoshka's less than that are not good. You're going to take, give me 1 second, half damage for those who didn't. Give me a second here. Here we go. Oh, still settling. There we go. All right, that could have been worse. 35 damage for the 2 who failed. And half that, so 17 damage, 18 damage for the 2 who succeeded. Where's that?
Does my handkerchief absorb some of that?
It will.
Okay. So I have 63 hit points, but that means I take 35 minus 12. So 23. So that puts me at 43. No, 40.
And all right. Did y'all take your damage?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, how much was it?
You passed, so 18 damage. That was Wira. It is Yoshka's turn.
I am still being stiffened, and I think that was happening behind me. I wasn't facing her.
Yeah.
So I stiffly knock an arrow and do my best to shoot at
Cimarron.
4.
Miss.
Rolled a 4, but I get plus. It probably doesn't make a difference, right?
I mean, how big is the plus?
Let's see. Plus 8. 12.
No. Okay. That's your turn, right?
Yeah.
It is Braka's turn. He is slowed.
And is this near the And
Rakal wasn't slowed; he was poisoned. Remember?
has a turn. Should I have rolled
Oh,
a
that's right.
saving throw or something since?
Oh, I'm
last
sorry.
turn
You should
did
have. Yeah, roll a
Okay,
saving
I'll
throw.
just do it now. So 3, that probably doesn't.
That does not pass.
Okay,
That's
so
one fail.
yeah. Okay, I'll write this down.
Braka attempts to dominate. He casts Dominate Monster on who just acided him. Dominate Monster is a high level spell that, if it works, is sort of like control, sort of like charm, but it's like just exerting your will directly on the creature.
Yikes.
Joke's on him. Isn't a monster. He's my friend.
Dwight, where is all this chat coming from? I love it.
This says, you attempt to beguile a creature you can see within range. They must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed for the duration. If you or creatures that are friendly to fighting it are fighting it, creature friendly to you are fighting it, it has advantage. However, Rakah is going to still try this because, well, let me think. Is he going to try this in battle? I don't think he has his other spell. He's already used high level spells here. Yeah, he's going to try this even with the advantage because his spell save DC is high. So with advantage, Copper Dragon's got to make a wisdom savings throw. Yeah, so +5. Oops, that was a 2 and a 10. He then gets a 15, which does not resist. He is charmed. Is charmed by Brakah. Okay, that is Brakah's only turn. Brakah's only turn right now. You can use your action to take total and precise control of the target until the end of your next turn. The creature takes only the actions you choose, doesn't do anything you don't allow it to do. Okay. And each time he takes damage, he gets a new wisdom savings throw. Okay. Now it is the turn of the Giralon, which is again. It's just a crazy animal.
Is Toll right next to me?
Toll is no, you're good. Toll is now right here, and you're there. So you're about
Oh, he moved away. Okay.
30 feet away. All right, 9:45. I'm going to do this. I promise. I'm going to do the best I can. Okay. So the Giralon's going to attack. Toll, what's your AC?
12.
Okay. 3 hits for a total of 6.
Does that damage carry, like, I only have 4 health left as a bear. Does that damage carry over into Toll form?
No.
It just turns you into Toll.
Cool.
Yeah, you take a lot of damage, but it basically the dead cave bear sloughs off of you, and there stands Toll. That was the Giralon. It is now where's my there it is. So it was Fa, Wira, number 3, and then number 4, which are Fa, Wira, Braka, Cinderon is next in my writing. All right. He has just taken damage, but is not. Oh, he was flesh to stoning. He's trying to flesh to stone Yoshika. He sees how close he is to, and he's going to. Oh, but he sees that he's done. He's got concentration on Yoshika. Okay, here's what he's going to do. He hasn't cast one of those level spells yet. It doesn't require concentration. So he's going to
Come within 5 feet of me.
um, feet on the side. Okay. Yeah. Within 100 feet, I'll let y'all see this. You two here can see this too. Within 100 feet of himself, he can cast a 20 by 20 force cage at will. That is just a cage that can't be broken. And I think there's a way I did this before where I drew. I'm going to use a circle because that's what I have. It's smaller than this. It is, that's 10 feet, 20 feet, we'll call it. He's going to do that around Diamondback. I don't think he can quite get Yoshika. Well, let me see. Belvari's in really good shape, but Diamondback has just turned into a snake. Yeah, he's going to do it around Diamondback. There's a force cage. It springs into existence around you, Diamondback. You're stuck in a 20-foot by 20-foot cage.
Okay.
Any impact on magic?
No, it's just a physical constraint. But he can't move, for example, out of the way of a dragon's breath. That was that one. It is Toll's turn.
Sorry, what's the spell?
Force cage. An immovable, invisible, cube-shaped prison composed of magical force springs into existence in an area you choose. It can be a cage or a solid box. It's a cage. The prison can be 20 feet on a side. It's made from a half-inch diameter bars spaced a half-inch apart.
I lost Robert.
Any creature completely inside the cage's area is trapped. Creatures only partially within the area, which is none of you.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
we can hear you now, Toll.
Okay. Is Sir Robert gone for anyone else?
No.
Okay, so
I
I
can hear
can't.
Sir Robert.
Hey, Pat.
I think
Sir
we
Robert.
lost. He's describing the force cage that Diamondback is in right now.
Okay.
For the sake of moving us a little bit, Toll, I'll come back to you and we'll retcon you in and won't attack. Inkatink, it's your turn.
So
Nice.
Skip you until
Inkatink pops up to his feet, drinks a potion of greater healing, regaining 49 hit points.
Wait, did I get skipped?
Oh yeah, feels good.
Awesome.
Feels
You
good
gotta
to
love
heal.
it.
Patrick, he's gonna come back to you and you can hear him.
Okay. I
Pat, can you hear
think
me?
I'm having issues, so I'm going to leave and come back.
He's gonna
Okay.
leave and come back.
Yep, I can hear him.
He can't hear you.
Okay, Inkatink. So you have 49 hit points.
Well, 44 is my max.
Okay.
Inkatink circles around to get behind Braka, I guess, so that Braka, Cinderon, and Gotish are in a straight line.
Hello.
And then he will cast lightning bolts using the last two of his
Sorcerer points.
sorcery points, metamagic sorcery points. So they need to make
How much movement do you have?
So normally I would only have 30, but with haste I have your target speed is doubled, so I can move 60 feet as my regular movement. So I figured that gives me enough movement to get around.
You can do that by taking an opportunity attack from Braka. Actually, you know what? I'm going to let you skirt around, climb a little bit up the ziggurat, and we'll just call it good.
Okay.
You have a line on them.
Yep. Okay. So they need to make a DC 14 dexterity saving throw or take 31 points of damage. And any of them that have concentration on spells will need to make a DC something to keep concentration.
What's the savings throw?
14.
One of them passes. It is Simdaran.
Of course, the one with the
Braka and Gotish both fail miserably. How much damage do they take?
31.
Oh yeah, if Braka can lose his concentration, then
Yep.
the dragon will.
Mm-hmm.
So Braka has to make a DC 15 concentration check to maintain the spell of Dominate Monster on...
No, he has to make a DC 10, right?
Well, it's that or half the damage. And because I did 31 damage, half of it is 15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
DC 15?
Yeah, because I only did 31 and it rounds down. So if I did one more, it'd be DC 16, but it's a DC 15 concentration.
His con, okay. He rolled a critical failure of concentration.
Yes! I have saved you!
If we can get his brain out and feed him to the elder
Starts thinking
brain,
about the soup. That's
will it
probably
cause the elder brain to die?
Yes.
Inkatink, is that your turn?
That is... Oh, and I use the remainder of my... I use my final action to consume a potion of fire breath. Or no,
Before
a potion
that,
of invulnerability. A potion of invulnerability.
Okay.
Does it do half damage? Did that do half damage to anyone who succeeded? The lightning or no damage?
Yeah, it does half to people who succeed.
Oh, so Simdaran has to do it too. Okay, give me 1 second and I'll do that.
Yeah, so all three of them have to make the save. Braka, Cinderon, and Gotish. That's 3 and 1.
Concentration will
So
only be
rolls 16.
Nice.
Okay.
But so I guess on half he takes 15.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, we're going to end this scene. Dang it. I was trying really hard. We're going to end this scene in a minute with back to Zevek and Neno.
If you want to do me really quick, I
Oh
can
yeah, do yours, and then we'll end on Stevik and Nana.
Okay, I'm gonna be quick because I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna take the potion of haste, and then I'm going to use my additional action to take a potion of healing because I can do that, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure. Why
Okay.
not?
Wonderful. D4 plus 8.
Is that your turn?
That.
Say it again.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a quick question, Sir Robert.
Do it.
Which one was it who cast the force cage on me? And they have to maintain concentration, right?
They do, and it was. I think.
Okay.
So Gotish needs to make the DC 10 then.
15.
Oh no, I'm sorry. No, it was Cinderon, and it is not a concentration. The force cage is not
Aw.
concentration.
Oh,
Oh, very convenient.
That's why he picked it.
wow.
Yeah.
1 hour it lasts.
Yep. Okay. Now it is Gotish's turn. He is going to. Yes, he's going to do this. I just have to look up to see what the save is, if there is one. I assume there is one. Charisma saving throw.
My write-up of Force Cage says it blocks any spells cast into or out from the area.
Okay. That makes sense. I think that's right.
Oh, Diamondback's safe if nothing else.
Well, not from things like acid breath.
Diamondback, there should be some orange slices in a pouch on your belt. Quickly.
Oh.
Matter can't pass in and spells can't pass in, so I don't know how acid breath would pass in.
I think in the cage form it can, but we'll look at that when we get there. Just for time.
Oh, I
Sure
see.
would.
Shape of a box. That's you're right. You're right.
So here we are, and
Thing.
Toll. You just took a potion, and if you're close enough, he's going to cast this on you. It has to be 60 feet from Gotish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, you're not. Actually, nobody is. He has to run closer. Can he get to there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He goes 1, 2, 3 to get closer in general. 6. No, he can hit Yoshka, but Yoshka's already done. Okay. He's going to actually himself into the middle of thing, breaking line between that and Inkatink. It'll have to be Inkatink. It was going to be Toll, but just for where everybody ended up. Make a charisma savings throw.
Gladly. That's a 23 there, big guy.
All right.
Wow.
A natural 20.
Nope. I just have a +7 to my charisma saves.
Oh, all right. Great. Okay. Then it fails.
Oh,
And let's see what that does. I don't think it may not do anything. Okay. No, it didn't do anything to you. Okay. Now it is back down.
And
The hole.
that was who? I couldn't quite
That
read it.
was Gotish.
Gotish has
turn.
presented himself to
I
me.
just never know
I see. Okay.
for my saving throw.
It's after shot your arrow last time. I don't know if we did it or not.
I have rolled one saving throw so far. Is Zevek near the beginning of
He's
the
near
turn?
the end.
He's near
He's
the end.
after you.
Okay, so it's probably after that.
Okay. So we're down in the hole. Let me share that real quickly. And
Let me catch you guys up on this experience that Neno has been having.
wait. Before you do, Zevek, you press that into his hand. He struggles while they're doing their stuff upstairs. Nobody knows, but he struggles and can't move. And says to you these words. You're still on him. You used all your movement getting up. You're going to hack at the thing, right? So you're putting it in his
No, I'm
hand.
standing in the ground.
Okay, standing in the water.
Yeah.
Oops. He says, how was he going to frame this? How was he going to say this?
Well, let me
Do
catch you
yours.
up on everything so far, and
Okay,
then he
go
can do something. So this whole experience down here, Neno has been whiplashed all over the places. She could not have been more whiplashed had she been at the end of one of these tentacles. She developed something of a plan, which was some kind of impact on the water, and was yanked away from it. Well, I mean, willingly. But by Zevek saying, "Neno, help me," which was enough of a shock to have him ask that she abandoned her draining plan and came as close as she could to his aid. Before she was able to be of any help at all, he specified that instruction and said, "Don't let it take my brain." So her plan had been to try and free him from the tentacles. That not being a possibility, thanks to DM knowledge about the size and meatiness of this brain. So he told her, "Don't let it take my brain."
Mind.
Okay. So she weighed that and saw that it didn't look like he could stop it from happening. It didn't look like she could stop it with her blades or her dart gun or her mammoth muscles. The only way she could see to stop it would be to turn his mind off. So she changed plans again from freeing him to possibly killing him. And so she asked, if I could free you, could you handle this yourself? Could you stop it from taking your brain? That's what she was asking. She's not sure if he understood that she was saying, "Should I free you or kill you?" Because he didn't answer that. He whiplashed her yet another way and redirected her to save the world by fixing the water. So not like she believes he has more wisdom than she does. In order to follow that new instruction, it may still be necessary for him to die. So she left him with the blade. So hopefully at some point, if need be, he could cut his own life from him. And so that is every plan that she has possibly had to do anything has been yanked from her by her love for Zevek. And now here she is, and she has in her mind possibly the next thing she could try. But because Zevek comes sooner in turn order, apparently, she may get whiplashed again. Let's see.
So I didn't know any of that stuff. Here's where we are. The brain drags him a step closer. These two are still doing their business with them. Mind flare comes a step closer. He has this dagger in his hand, but is absolutely constrained now by more tentacles. He's like, he can't do anything. He's completely, what's the condition called? Not incapacitated, but there's one where
Restrained.
restrained, I guess. Okay. He's completely restrained. He can't do anything. Which he indicates to you. He says, on his turn, he says, it's now dragged him closer, and he is basically adjacent to it. The next drag closer pulls him in. I don't know if you can see the map. He says, same thing he said before, basically, Nano, get the magic out of the water. As he's deeply constrained. Get the magic out of the water. Save all their lives. I know it's a hard choice, but you have to. And he is unable to speak further.
Nino doesn't have any strategies for getting magic out of the water. She had a strategy to get the water out of the pool so it couldn't be spit up. But that's not getting magic out of it. That's just making it not be able to float to the surface. The only thing she's seen that looked like magic leaving the water was every time Zevik's body was in the water, it was steaming away. Before he got wrapped up more, her thought was to, what do they call it? Swipe the knees to topple him. But now that he's more wrapped up, I'm not sure that.
There was another time, just to remind you,
Remind me.
out of character, when y'all first got to the Black City. Remember when Zedek first got to the Black City? Y'all had been in the Stone Keep, in the hole, the not hole, the part around the hole, black, the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And when y'all fought those spiders, he got wounded and had that bandage.
Yeah.
When you got to the Stone Keep and the bandage fell into the trough, the water sizzled out.
And our guess was it was from clothes or from blood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The life's in the blood.
Life is in the blood. Okay. Well, then she won't sweep the legs to try and topple him. She will use her scythe.
Scythe. Bladed weapon.
Curved blade
That's right.
to well, I guess hamstring him. She's gonna hack at the back of his legs.
So that won't, just to say, that won't kill him quickly. That'll make him bleed. But the creature will still get his mind. There are other ways.
Yeah. Okay. All right. She's willing for it. She was willing for it before he gave her the water instruction. So she puts her left foot on the bottom tentacle and jumps herself up toward his head. And she I'm going to go with a more straightforward plan. And she takes the curved blade, backhand in her dominant hand, curve, concave forward, and swipes it as though she's not from a place of non-strength, hacking at a tree, straight at his neck. Either she'll lop his head off, or she'll just get the blade stuck in his neck. Either way, his brain and head will be detached from him. And if he's going to die, that should do it. And if he's not going to die, time will tell.
Okay.
Not for the other version. Her prior plan was to stab it into an eye and scoop to make the brain useless. But now that I want the blood, different plan.
Zevek sees you doing it, and though deeply restrained, you think he nods slightly and does not resist. Roll me a d20.
18.
And you do sever cleanly with an 18. Blood is everywhere. In the water, it pumps out of him with all the tension. In his whole body straining and just everywhere. Those of you above in the land, in the plane above, the top of the ziggurat sprays a sudden mist, a geyser of red water, and it runs quickly down the sides of the ziggurat. I'll tell you out of character, if there's anything magical you guys want to do, I'll collapse all your turns into one, but all the magic is leaving this plane immediately, this little disc that you're on.
I mean, it can cast fly, but, you know.
All right. If y'all are willing for another about 5 minutes, it's 10:15. I will wrap up this time. Otherwise, we would come back next time.
I mean, Diamondback has a magical action to do.
Do it.
But you're in the cage.
You can do it within the. It just can't leave.
I mean, this might actually take 2 turns, but Diamondback's plan, are we exiting turn order?
We're exiting turn order.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
And you have seconds to do something.
So Diamondback turns back into a humanoid.
Uh-huh.
He unsnakes himself, and he rips a patch off of his coat of useful things.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a rowboat. And he it turns into an actual like 12-foot, 15-foot long rowboat,
Okay.
which he has flipped over and he hides underneath.
Okay.
A robot and the rowboat has AC and it has hit points. So he
Great.
should have full cover from stuff, whatever. It's got to go through the rowboat before it can get to him.
Okay.
He will not be bled on if he has anything to do about it.
Toll, do you have anything magical to do right now?
I have an understanding that I'm not going to be able to do magical things in a moment.
No, this is out of character that I'm telling you that, but I'm going to say each of you knows the significance that Zevek was down there, and I'm going to give you just no. You know what? I'm going to do it this way. Yes, you don't know how, but you have distinct knowledge that this is your last opportunity, perhaps for a while, because of this. So yes, you have a moment to do something. And you know.
This is what Diamondback was going to do anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. How about you,
Do I
Toll?
have-
I'm just going to go through.
Do I have the impression that something cataclysmic is happening?
You don't know that much. You just know that you think that's Zevek's blood and unmagicking is happening.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything.
Okay. Belvari, you have an instant of knowledge. Would you reflexively do anything?
Yeah, I'll cast healing word. No, healing. Yeah, healing. No, just cure wounds on myself.
You do so. Take it.
21.
And now, a brief epilogue. This redness, this frothing, foaming redness shoots out of the top of this ziggurat of sacrifice. And it fills the air with a red mist and runs through the water. The whole water has been churning hard and is deeply red. It's not just a quick burst. It's like as though somewhere far down below there is it has gotten thoroughly mixed in this. In order, emerging from the ziggurat, the things you see, Yoshka, your limbs loosen, and whatever magical effect was on them as you were just about to petrify, you find yourself free. Cinderon and I can't see who that is.
Can you switch us to the upstairs view?
Braka. Cinderon, Braka, and Garatone. Garatone's dead. Cinderon and Braka and Gotish almost visibly deflate. They seem so weak in front of you right now. The lion shrinks down and falls and clatters to the ground, a small statue. Belvari's wolves sublimate and disappear. Wira, this mighty dragon, collapses to the ground. A wounded woman with a blindfold, barely alive. The petrified statues all around crackle and fall to the ground. Water flows out through the rivers, through the rivulets, and down over the edge, the red water. After a few moments, a minute or two, you hear a wild roar coming from the direction of where the gathered 600,000 imprisoned soldiers, beasts, and undead were. There's chaos as their restraints have been lifted, their magical restraints. All around you, the darkness that had been here, this sort of gloomy dim, fades away. And Yoshka, you recognize this, but the rest of you see a canopy you've never seen before. You look straight up, and it must be the leaves above the great leaves. They're leaves of icy blue with a bright yellow ball, a circle hanging high. The water runs out, and you can see over the plain the mist lifting from the city, rolling quickly, a wave gaining speed. And the mist in this entire city, and then you think even in the trees beyond, the mist pushes back, and pushes back. You make, for this epilogue, you make short work of the rest of the coven. I will leave it to you if you would like to come up with something in particular you do with or to them. But they are no longer a challenge for you here. Some time passes and you return, you walk after first figuring out how to get down. And I'm going to say, calling down to Neno, hearing her calling up, you use your ropes, figure out a way several hundred feet to extract her from below, where she tells you the tale of what happened. Returning to your black city, going to the Oravan on the way, where Talid kept the people safe, you find that the mist is more or less nowhere to be seen. It seems that Zevek's potent blood, diffused in the water, has spread into the forest the same way that the magic did. It's absorbed into every tree, all the rocks, the water, the ground. It's seeping through, filling everything. A month has passed, 2 months, 3 months. It's a little bit hard to remember exactly what magic looked like. The hole, as you go back and visit it, the blackness, you go to it, and it's just a place in the forest. There's not as much water as there was, and a lot of the trees are dying. It's becoming more arid here. It's drying out. It's sunny now, a word that Yoshka and Neno have taught you. At night, when you can see above after a half year has passed, it is just as black as it was before, but now great fireflies and the mother of all fireflies drift through the sky slowly. Yoshka tells you stories about them. In a generation, there are still tales in this place about how once there was a time when you could just go and pick things from a tree and make fire and all kinds of effects, and you could fly and things. Some of the younger kids aren't sure they believe you. It's pretty strange. The trees have largely died. It's now sparse, not unpleasant. Neno, Yoshka, you remember it like the whole. And now you see, having gone back to visit and tell everyone there what came of Zevek, that the cliff you climbed, the hole that this in, is a great and wide bowl in the earth. Some impact a long, long time ago hit a star falling from the sky, making a giant pit where there was no magic. That came into the world. And in its death, there was a life for the rest of you.
Yeah.
The end.
Nice. Bravo, bravo.
Did the brain die when there was no gross water?
So let me tell you a couple of things. One, I thought about doing another one next week, which we can do whatever, where you get to just ask anything you want about the whole world, if you want. I thought that would be fun. There's a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Y'all would like that. I will answer this one question for you. The water didn't go away. It's just water, but there's no magic anywhere. There's a whole story about this. I'm very happy to tell you. I hinted at a whole bunch of it, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have and also tell you things that are questions that you would ask if you knew to ask them.
Okay.
So maybe we can do that next time or something. Or a different time, not at all.
Sounds good.
I have some questions.
All right. If we had finished at 9, I would have used the second hour for it.
Well, if you would have told us that the battle was completely meaningless to the the movement of the story, we would have.
It actually
Oh,
wasn't.
did you guys not know that?
It actually wasn't. Think about it. There was some. It could have gone a whole bunch of different ways if you think through. Just as a fun exercise.
I mean, Nicotine could have been dead afterwards.
That's right.
Yeah.
You could have been petrified. Nano, you did not have to kill him.
Wow. Okay.
But he had it coming.
That's right. The nerve.
I did not have to kill him.
You didn't. It's up to you.
I wanted so badly to just go,
Which you did.
Abraham, get on with it. But that would have been rude, so.
Oh.
I will tell you one thing. The end I had originally possible, if Talad hadn't gone to the Oravan, was for it to fall to Talad to have to cut Zevek's throat.
That, sir, would have been dirty.
Remember his sister.
Whoop,
His sister. He had a
GM
trauma with it.
police here. Whoop, whoop.
Okay.
So I was envisioning him having to die quite early, 6 months ago or something like that. But I wasn't anticipating it having to be me until nobody else came down the. It's like crud. It's got to be me.
That's something.
I would have gone down there with you, but I was trying to back.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I'll throw this out there for you. The way you up top knew that you could make, there's more of these, knew that you could cast the spell, knew that it was what was about to happen. Oben gave you the knowledge.
Nice.
Season 2 fans will know him by the name Oberon. Those of you who did not go into the hall did not see all the interactions that Talad, Neno, and Yoshka had with Oberon.
No.
I wondered if you guys ever eventually convince Inkatink of his existence.
Let's see. I will say one of the two weird things left is that the closest thing to magic y'all know of is this really crisp new handkerchief and some nicely tooled leather pants. The reason those still worked in the anti-magic was because divine magic works in anti-magic, and Oben, who's a god, Oberon, made them work when they interacted with him.
Nice. Can I just say one thing? When you said the phrase in a generation, and you went on to say, like, folk, maybe they don't believe in components and stuff, but just, I had this, it was like you grabbed a piece of me and just yanked it out. And I just felt it being ripped out because you're just watching the opportunity to continue to play in this context zip forward in time. And so as a DM, just using that one phrase, in a generation, you just grabbed a dial in my soul and whoop, twisted it. And that's what I love about this art form. It's so powerful, all these characters have been inside of us for months. So thank you. This has been so much fun.
I'm glad. Let me say this last little bit here. That's where we'll end this series. Thanks for listening. Thanks, you guys, for playing. I hope the story is good for you. It was definitely good for me to tell and to tell with y'all. To those listening, if you'd like to find out more about the world and the story we're telling, visit the starfallcollective.com when it exists.
That was a lot of fun. We should play the closing song.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
You have my respect for making Neno slit his throat.
Go your own way, stones and shadows bide, willows whisper of darkness deep and wide.
Cool.
In the forest, there is no place to hide. Strange paths. Tonight I fear that I will not survive the dying of a light.
Yeah, if you hadn't jumped in there with him while he was about to jump down.
My plan was to go down
Oh yeah,
I was
you
on
could
the
have
way
gone
behind
safely.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I probably would have stayed up and died quickly because I have no magic nor any skill or hit points.
Hello, my name is Inka.